What if I told you that one of the most overlooked stores in America could save your life in an emergency and save you hundreds of dollars while doing it? Most people walk past Harbor Freight thinking it's just cheap tools that'll break after one use. But here's what they don't know. Hidden among those aisles is a goldmine of preparedness supplies that can help you survive anything from power outages to natural disasters. In this video, I'm going to reveal exactly which Harbor Freight items are worth buying for your emergency kit and which ones you should avoid. I'll show you storage solutions that cost pennies on the dollar, tools that perform way above their price point, and one specific product that rivals brands costing 3 times as much. By the end of this video, you'll know how to build a complete emergency preparedness kit without emptying your bank account. Welcome to Essential Pantry, where we help you prepare smarter, not harder. If you're tired of overpaying for preparedness gear and want to learn the secrets of budget-friendly emergency planning, hit that like button right now and subscribe to the channel. Trust me, your wallet will thank you. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Preparing for emergencies is expensive. Walk into Home Depot or Lowe's with a shopping list of preparedness supplies, and you'll easily drop $500 to $1,000 before you've even covered the basics. Premium brands like DeWalt, Milwaukee, and Honda make incredible products, but not everyone has that kind of budget. And let's be honest, when you're trying to stock up on backup supplies, redundancy items, or gear you might only use once in a blue moon, do you really need top-of-the-line everything? On the other end of the spectrum, you've got dollar stores. Sure, they're cheap, but you get what you pay for. A flashlight that dies after 3 uses, or a tool that breaks the first time you actually need it, isn't going to help you in a crisis. That's where Harbor Freight comes in. It occupies this unique sweet spot in the market. Better quality than dollar store junk, but at prices that won't make you choose between preparedness and paying your bills. Here's the truth that experienced preppers understand. Not every item in your emergency kit needs to be the absolute best. For many things, good enough is truly good enough. Think about it this way. If you're building redundancy into your preps, which you absolutely should be doing, does your backup flashlight need to be a $200 tactical model? Or would 3 $20 flashlights strategically placed around your house serve you better? Harbor Freight makes it possible to have multiple backups without breaking the bank. There's another huge advantage to shopping at Harbor Freight for preparedness supplies. If you already own high-quality gear, Harbor Freight is perfect for picking up extras. Maybe you want to lend tools to neighbors during an emergency without risking your expensive equipment. Or maybe you want to test out a new type of gear before committing to a premium version. Harbor Freight lets you experiment and expand your capabilities without major financial risk. And let's address the budget reality that nobody likes to talk about. Sometimes the best you can do is what your wallet allows right now. Would it be nice to have a $5,000 Honda generator? Absolutely. But if your choice is between a more affordable generator today or waiting 2 years to save up for the expensive one, which option actually keeps your family safer? In an emergency, having something is always infinitely better than having nothing at all. Harbor Freight makes it possible to get equipped now, not someday. The key to shopping smart at Harbor Freight is understanding which items deserve your premium budget and which ones can be budget friendly. You need to build a balanced kit, invest in top quality where failure is not an option, and save money everywhere else. Harbor Freight enables exactly this kind of strategic purchasing. You can allocate your budget where it truly matters, while still getting everything else you need. Now, let's dive into the actual products, starting with storage and organization. If you're serious about preparedness, you need ways to keep your supplies organized, protected, and easily accessible. Harbor Freight has you covered here in a big way. First up, 5-gallon buckets. These are absolute workhorses in any preparedness setup. You can use them for water storage, carrying supplies, mixing concrete, organizing gear by category, and yes, even as a makeshift emergency toilet if things get really bad. Harbor Freight sells these at rock-bottom prices, which means you can afford to stock up on as many as you need. By 10, by 20, at these prices, there's no reason not to have plenty on hand. Next, let's talk about ammo cans. Don't let the name fool you. Sure, they're designed for ammunition, but these plastic and metal containers are perfect for storing all kinds of emergency supplies. Use them to organize small items, protect sensitive electronics from moisture, or create grab-and-go emergency kits. They're waterproof, they stack beautifully for efficient storage, and they come in both plastic and metal versions depending on your needs. The metal ones are incredibly durable, while the plastic versions are lighter for transport. Here's a pro tip that most people miss. Gun cases aren't just for guns. Harbor Freight's gun cases can be repurposed for all kinds of equipment. Think about protecting your emergency radios, communication equipment, or sensitive electronics. These cases are designed to protect valuable items from impact and moisture. Toolboxes and tool bags, including backpack-style options, offer even more flexible storage solutions. You can customize these for different scenarios. One for car emergencies, one for home repairs, one for outdoor survival gear. The options are endless. Now let's move into power solutions, because when the grid goes down, power becomes everything. Extension cords are non-negotiable must-haves. When you're running a generator during a power outage, you need to get that electricity from your driveway or backyard into your home where it's actually useful. Harbor Freight offers extension cords in every length and gauge you could need. Just make sure you're selecting the right gauge for your power requirements. Too thin of a wire for high wattage appliances is a fire hazard. Here's something most people don't think about: rechargeable fans. Harbor Freight makes fans that run on the same battery system as their power tools. These are incredibly practical for emergencies, or even just working in your garage during a power outage. Some models even include USB ports so you can charge your devices. They're affordable enough to keep several on hand, and they can make a huge difference in comfort during extended outages, especially in summer. When it comes to batteries, solar panels, and inverters, Harbor Freight has options, but this is where you need to shop carefully. Their batteries, the Thunderbolt brand and standard alkalines, are comparable to Amazon Basics. They're fine, especially if you catch them on sale with a coupon, but don't expect premium performance. For solar panels, honestly, you can often find better quality online for similar or even lower prices, particularly on Amazon. Unless you have a really good Harbor Freight coupon in hand, shop around before buying solar equipment there. Inverters fall into the same category. They're available, but compare prices and reviews carefully. Better options may exist elsewhere for the same money. Let's talk about lighting, which is absolutely critical in any emergency. Harbor Freight has an enormous selection of flashlights, headlamps, rechargeable outdoor lights, and floodlights. Now, here's my recommendation. Own a couple of really high-quality flashlights as your primary lights. But for backup lights, the ones you stash in every room, in every vehicle, in every emergency bag, Harbor Freight is perfect. At their prices, you can afford to scatter flashlights throughout your entire home and property. When the power goes out at 2 in the morning, you'll be grateful you don't have to fumble around trying to remember where that one expensive flashlight is. Instead, you'll have a cheap backup within arm's reach no matter where you are. Tools are where Harbor Freight really shines for preparedness purposes. Let's start with hand tools. Hammers, saws, screwdrivers, socket sets, wrenches. Harbor Freight has all of these at prices that seem almost too good to be true. And for most general preparedness tasks, these tools will serve you just fine. Are they Milwaukee or Snap-on quality? No. But for basic repairs, construction, and emergency fixes, they'll get the job done. You might want to invest in higher quality ratchets or specialty tools if you're using them professionally, but for your emergency toolkit, these budget-friendly options are more than adequate. The same principle applies to power tools. Harbor Freight's power tools aren't going to compete with DeWalt or Milwaukee if you're a contractor using them 8 hours a day, but as backups, for light to moderate use, for lending to neighbors during an emergency, they're absolutely serviceable. Just be smart about it. For more expensive items, buy one and test it thoroughly before you rely on it when things go sideways. The last thing you want is to discover a tool doesn't work in the middle of an actual emergency. Car repair tools deserve special mention. Tire repair kits, wrenches, and basic automotive tools from Harbor Freight cost a fraction of what premium brands charge. These are perfect for building a roadside emergency kit. You're not rebuilding an engine on the side of the highway. You're changing a tire, tightening a loose battery connection, or making a temporary fix to get home safely. Harbor Freight's automotive tools are more than capable of handling these situations. For shelter and repair materials, Harbor Freight is an absolute gold mine. Tarps, plastic wrap, and emergency blankets are all available at prices that let you stock up generously. These items are essential for building emergency shelters, sealing windows against storms, creating waterproof barriers, or providing warmth. Plastic wrap in particular is incredibly versatile. You can seal food, create waterproof layers, even use it for first aid in certain situations. Never underestimate the small stuff. Zip ties, cordage, tape, and glue might seem insignificant, but in an emergency, these items can be absolute lifesavers. Zip ties literally have hundreds of uses: securing gear, creating quick repairs, even improvising restraints if security becomes an issue. Cordage is essential for building shelters, hanging tarps, securing loads, and countless other tasks. Different types of tape serve different purposes, and having a variety on hand means you're ready for anything. Same with glues and adhesives.
These small items take up minimal space and cost little, but their utility in crisis situations is enormous. Let's talk about some other categories quickly. Harbor Freight's camping section has tent stakes, fire starters, and even slingshots. These aren't top-of-the-line outdoor gear, but they're functional and affordable for backup use or occasional needs. Home security options include old-school door and window alarms that work without power or internet, perfect for grid-down scenarios. They also carry basic security lights and cameras. Are these cutting-edge smart home devices? No, but they're better than nothing, and in many situations, simple is actually more reliable. For personal protective equipment, Harbor Freight stocks gloves, masks, though not medical grade, bodysuits, and knee pads. Again, these aren't premium PPE, but they're adequate for most situations. If you're doing hazardous work that requires certified protection, absolutely go to specialized suppliers. But for general emergency tasks, yard work, or light construction, Harbor Freight's PPE will do the job while saving you money that you can spend on more critical items. Gardening and outdoor tools like rakes, shovels, hatchets, and axes can be invaluable during disasters. Some have plastic handles that might not be as durable as wooden or fiberglass, but they're worth testing for backup use. A shovel is a shovel when you need to dig a drainage ditch during a flood or clear debris after a storm. Harbor Freight even sells pre-made survival kits. Are they perfect? No, but they contain several useful components and come in a sturdy storage box. For beginners or as gifts, they're a decent starting point. You can always upgrade individual items later, and the components can be repurposed for customized kits. One thing I need to be straight with you about: Harbor Freight's knives. These are best considered backups or light-duty tools. Do not rely on a Harbor Freight knife as your primary survival blade. They're not built for heavy use or extended survival situations. Invest in a reputable brand for your main knife. That said, their box cutters and drywall saws are actually decent for their intended purposes, and having backup knives scattered around isn't a bad idea. Now we need to talk about the absolute standout product at Harbor Freight, the item that might just be the best value in the entire preparedness world. I'm talking about Predator generators, specifically the 3,500-watt Predator inverter generator. This generator has earned rave reviews from campers, RV enthusiasts, and preppers across the country. People who own Honda generators, which cost 2 to 3 times as much, will tell you that the Predator performs comparably. We're talking about a generator that delivers reliable power when you need it most, at a price that won't devastate your preparedness budget. Let's break down why Predator generators are such a great choice. First, affordability. You're paying significantly less than premium brands without sacrificing much in terms of performance. Second, reliability. These generators have consistently positive reviews, and real-world experience backs up the claims. People are using these for camping trips, tailgating, backup power during outages, and emergency preparedness, and they're holding up. Third, versatility. The Predator line comes in various sizes to match different needs, and they even offer dual fuel models that can run on gasoline or propane. This fuel flexibility is huge for preparedness because it gives you options when one fuel source might be unavailable. Fourth, ease of use. These generators are straightforward to operate and maintain. You don't need to be a mechanic to keep them running. Now, let's be honest. Honda generators may offer slightly better fuel efficiency and longer warranties. If you have the budget for a Honda and want the absolute best, go for it. But for most people building their preparedness supplies, the Predator delivers more than adequate performance at a price point that makes it accessible. When a winter storm knocks out power for 3 days, or a summer heat wave crashes the grid, your Predator generator will keep your refrigerator running, your phones charged, and your fans going. It'll do the job when it matters. If you're in the market for a generator and you've been putting it off because of the cost, the Predator line deserves serious consideration. It's hard to beat the value proposition here. However, and this is important, Harbor Freight also makes a Predator-branded power station. Based on available reviews and feedback, this is not recommended. There are so many reliable power stations on the market from proven brands that there's just no reason to gamble on this particular product. Stick with the Predator generators, which have earned their reputation, and skip the power station entirely. Moving on to items that fall into the good enough category. The camping gear at Harbor Freight, tent stakes, fire starters, slingshots, works fine for backup purposes or occasional use. You're not betting your life on these items as primary gear, but having extras or backups at these prices makes sense. Gardening tools with plastic handles need to be approached with some caution. Some will hold up fine, others might not. The solution? Test them before you're depending on them in an emergency. Buy one, use it for a season, see how it performs. If it holds up, great, buy more. If it fails, you're only out a few dollars, and you know not to rely on that particular item. The pre-made survival kits are decent starting points, especially for people just beginning their preparedness journey. They're not comprehensive, and you'll want to upgrade and customize over time, but they give you a foundation to build on. Think of them as templates that you'll improve as you learn more about what you actually need. Now, let's talk about when you should definitely shop elsewhere. Solar panels, as mentioned earlier, can often be found at better prices or quality online. Unless you have a killer coupon, do your research before buying solar equipment at Harbor Freight. For high-end power tools that you'll be using frequently or professionally, invest in premium brands. Harbor Freight's tools are fine for backup and light use, but if you're doing heavy-duty work regularly, you need equipment that can handle that level of abuse. Your primary survival knife should come from a reputable knife company. Brands like Mora, K-Bar, or even quality mid-range brands will serve you infinitely better than any knife Harbor Freight sells. In a survival situation, your knife is one tool where failure is absolutely not an option. Spend the money on quality here.
If you need medical-grade PPE, real N95 masks, certified safety equipment for hazardous materials, professional-grade protection, go to specialized suppliers. Harbor Freight's PPE is fine for general use, but when certification and verified protection levels matter, you can't cut corners. Let me share some pro tips for shopping at Harbor Freight successfully. First, leverage their coupons religiously. Harbor Freight is famous for constant sales and coupon offerings. Sign up for their email list. Yes, you'll get daily emails, but you'll also get access to deals that can save you 30, 40, even 50% on items. Many products at Harbor Freight are best purchased only when they're on sale. A little patience can result in massive savings. Second, test critical items before you rely on them. This is especially important for tools and equipment that you might need to depend on during a crisis. Buy one, put it through its paces, and make sure it performs as expected before you add it to your emergency kit or buy multiples. The middle of a disaster is not the time to discover that something doesn't work. Third, prioritize your purchases strategically. Invest in high-quality gear for items where failure is not an option. Your primary survival knife, critical power tools you'll use heavily, PPE for truly hazardous situations, these deserve premium purchases. For backups, redundancy items, or less critical gear, Harbor Freight's offerings are often more than sufficient. This strategic approach lets you maximize your preparedness while staying within budget. Fourth, think about redundancy and flexibility. One of the core principles of preparedness is having backups and alternatives. Harbor Freight's affordable prices make it possible to stock up on extras without guilt. Multiple flashlights, backup tools, extra storage containers, these add layers of security to your preparations. You're never caught without a critical item because you can afford to have multiples. Fifth, customize your preparations to your specific needs. With Harbor Freight's wide range of products, you can tailor your emergency kit to your exact situation. Live in hurricane country? Focus on tarps, tie-downs, and waterproof storage. Worried about winter power outages? Prioritize generators, extension cords, and heating solutions. Urban apartment dweller? Emphasize compact storage and portable tools. Harbor Freight's selection and prices let you build exactly what you need without forcing you into one-size-fits-all solutions. Building a comprehensive preparedness kit isn't about having the most expensive gear. It's about having the right gear in the right quantities at a price that doesn't prevent you from preparing in the first place. Harbor Freight enables exactly this kind of practical, budget-conscious preparedness. You can walk out of the store with a car full of supplies for what a few premium items would cost elsewhere. Here's the bottom line. Harbor Freight occupies a unique and valuable niche in the preparedness world. It's not where you go for top-of-the-line professional-grade equipment that'll last 30 years of daily abuse, but it excels at providing affordable, functional options for people building or supplementing their emergency supplies. By understanding which items are worth buying, which are good enough for backup purposes, and which to avoid, you can make the most of every dollar in your preparedness budget. Remember the strategy: quality where failure isn't an option, budget-friendly everywhere else. Test your gear before you need it. Take advantage of coupons and sales. Build redundancy into your systems. And, most importantly, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. A Harbor Freight generator running during a power outage is infinitely better than no generator at all because you are saving up for a Honda. Preparedness is a journey, not a destination. You don't need to buy everything at once, and you don't need to buy the most expensive version of everything. Start with the essentials, test your gear, learn what works for your situation, and build from there. Harbor Freight makes this journey accessible to everyone, regardless of budget. If this video helped you understand how to build your emergency kit without emptying your bank account, smash that like button and subscribe to Essential Pantry. We're here to help you prepare smarter, not harder. Drop a comment below telling us your favorite Harbor Freight find for preparedness, or let us know what items you'd like us to review next. Remember, stay safe, stay prepared, and keep in mind that having something is always better than having nothing.